So, Lizzie, as you know, I have a weekly movie night group every Sunday night.
Hmm.
And in this time of year, with the Academy Awards coming, typically we choose movies that are nominated for the Academy Awards, things that like folks haven't seen yet. And this week was my chance to pick, which only comes around once every 2 or 3 months. So the like nights where you are the quote unquote movie maestro are precious, and
Uh,
I hate to waste them.
uh-huh.
So there's a movie that Rose Byrne, who's a great actress, got nominated for Best Actress for, called "If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You,"
Hmm.
and it has Conan O'Brien in it. And when I looked online, the general description was like dark comedy about trying to keep it things together, being a mother. And I was like, how bad could this be? It seems legit. It's got Conan. It's gonna have a couple laughs. It'll be like a lot of fun. And what proceeded to happen was 2 hours of just me not being able to unclench, being absolutely stressed, watching this mother deteriorate in real time. Like she already started at a point that I would describe as mental rock bottom, and just descends from there. And I don't think that I personally can like describe how traumatizing this movie is. However, I went on Letterboxd and I just found a few reviews I would like to read that really describe this movie well.
Now I
All right.
understand why also you messaged me last night saying
Yes.
under no circumstances should you watch this this
I
movie.
know you and Daniel sometimes watch like, kind of the topical movies,
Hmm.
awardsy type movies. And I figured with a name like If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, and the fact that it features Conan O'Brien, you might be like, what
Maybe.
do you think? Maybe.
Uh-huh.
No, don't do it. Um
Don't subject yourself to it.
the first review, uncut gems for mothers.
Oh
Very apt.
dear.
Phenomenal. I'm going to throw up. That was Karsten.
I'm gonna throw up.
Jonathan Fuji. Good movie. I wanted to peel the skin off my face.
Oh my god.
This one comes from my friend who said this movie is virtual birth control. And then the next one was someone said, I highly recommend a niece.
So for
And
everybody who's listening that might not be caught up, I'm 8.5 months pregnant. So this is
yeah,
also why this pertains to Alex being like, "Don't do it,
don't
Lizzie.
do
Just
it.
just don't do it."
I messaged all my pregnant friends and all my new mother friends, don't watch it. And I was like really, I think they should just play it in abstinence only education states. Because like it was I oh man, like the whole movie is just everything that could go wrong does go wrong, and she's
Uh-uh.
like she can't keep it together, and she's like a therapist, and her patients are all crashing out, and her daughter is like dying, and like the doctors won't help her and are just telling her she's a bad mother, and her coworker therapist that she goes to see, who's played by Conan, is just like this brick wall of a human being, and the husband is off on like a military boat, and their
Mm.
apartment falls apart, and she's living in a motel,
So
and her
they're
daughter.
never letting you pick another movie again.
No, well, not for another eight weeks. That's how long it takes until I'm a movie maestro again. So now I have to sit there, and knowing that one of my movie picks for the year, because we have an awards night at the end of the year,
Uh-huh.
one of my movie picks this year is fucking If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. At least I think I'm in the running for worst movie of the year. It was such a greatly like shot, like beautifully shot movie, but oh my god, never watch it. I will like
I
don't watch it.
I am really really particular about taking like suggestions from people because of situations like that. I also cannot stand rewatching movies that my husband has seen. Like my husband would be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I love this movie. Let's watch it." And I'm really a stickler and kind of a brat about it. I'm like, "No, I don't want to watch something you've already seen." Cuz like one, that's not fun, and two, I feel a lot of pressure when somebody's already seen a movie, like they're
Mm.
watching me to see if I'm enjoying the movie. So like I really don't like doing
Sure.
that. It stresses me out a little bit. And I can't even remember what the freaking movie, the name of the movie was, but he was like, it's so good. And we tried watching it and I hated it. And after that,
Oh wow.
he hasn't got to pick another movie since then, really. At least one that he's seen that he swears up and down is really good. We did watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, though,
Oh,
and
fun.
he had already seen that one, and I had
Right.
never seen it, and I was like, ah.
That's a good movie.
I was gonna say it's something I've
Quentin
been
Tarantino.
it's something I've been wanting to watch anyways. We watched the preview again to like jog my memory because we were like trying to figure out it was like between that and then what else was there? I wanted to watch Eternity, and I knew he was gonna be like, eh, and I was like, that's okay, that's a me
Wait,
movie.
was that like for Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
That's like a
Mhm.
perfect Valentine's Day movie.
He gets sick of like the love story. Like we watched it and he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm definitely in. So I'll watch this another time without you. And
Have you have you watched it yet?
no,
I
not
guess
yet.
not. Cause okay,
No, nope, nope, nope.
okay,
Not yet. But we watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it's good. It just like it was so hard for me to let this movie go by and not like be like, what's the plot? Because it just
hmm
is that like you're just watching what it was like. And so
yeah.
that was a little tricky for me, but I did enjoy it. Like I was like in it the entire time. So yeah.
Well, you know, when I give you a recommendation, I always think there's like an 80% chance, you know, like Eternity, I think you're going to like it. If you don't like it, I won't be upset, but I can 100% guarantee you'd hate if I had legs like you. So don't watch it.
That's you
Um,
should talk to our buddy Bruce. He gets really mad at me because I won't listen to any of his TV show recommendations anymore because he once recommended Bad Monkey, which I think
no.
is on Apple TV.
Okay.
Um,
Oh
and
man, a rare Apple TV miss.
I think it's Apple TV. And I watched it and I think we only got through like half the season. I was like, this is horrible. Like, this is trash.
Oh
And now
no.
he's like, Lizzie, he said, you can't just base all of my suggestions off that. I was like, yeah, but you think that was a really good show and it was a really not a good show. I'm sorry. So you can't, especially the first one, if you
hmm
ruin your first suggestion, well,
That's
you're out
it.
of luck. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, Jess and I still haven't done the Valentine's Day thing. We're gonna go see Wuthering Heights though tonight. So the new
Interesting because
Jacob Elordi, Margot Robbie, Wuthering
I've
Heights.
heard a lot of interesting opinions about that.
Oh, it
That
looks like a train wreck. I can't wait.
yeah.
I can't wait.
I think it's something I'll end up watching. I'll wait for because it's technically on your TV right now, but again, it's like on that like $30 to get it. So I'll wait and for it to like go down, and then
Yeah,
I'll probably end up watching it just because I'm curious to see what all the
absolutely.
the the talk is about. So I'm sure there will be a time where we can both talk about it.
In my circle, it seems to be people who've read the book are like violently upset about it,
Uh huh.
and then people who haven't read the book are like, "Yeah, it's fine."
I think there's so much like hate also around it right now because of Margot Robbie and Jacob Lordy's like friendship relationship thing that's going on right
Oh,
now in the public. And I think one of the things that I've learned from listening to like people online, like actors and like podcasts, is
mhm.
if they're doing this right and they're smart, they're doing exactly what they should be. If you're watching a show or a movie like that and you're invested, there's a part of you that hopes that those two actors end up together, so they're probably playing it up a lot
Yeah,
in public to draw more attention, and people are like, and I get it, like it's weird, like I think pretty sure she's married and stuff, and so like everybody's like,
yeah.
this is just odd, and I'm like, I
They
think
did the
that's the
same thing
point
with
though.
Pedro Pascal during the Fantastic Four um
Yes.
press tour, right?
Like I think they coach these actors and actresses to be like, yes, go out there, be a little lovey-dovey, because the people who do believe it are like, oh my
Mhm.
god, there's a chance that two of my favorite actors that were just in this movie are going to end up together, and then
And
you can
and
invest it.
I think there's even like the reverse of like you don't just get invested in the character, so you root for the actors, but also like I think back to Wicked. After watching the press tour for Wicked and then going to see the movie, I kind of wanted Galinda and Alpha to kiss at the end of For Good.
Uh-huh.
I was like, this just makes sense.
Yeah. So I think a lot of actors and actresses are very smart about the way
Mm,
they're trying to be perceived when they're like on a red carpet. It's like this is all part of like the shtick, the
yeah.
bit to like get people invested and being like, oh, okay.
On the topic of watching things, before we get into our topic for the day, have you been watching season 3 of Shrinking?
Yes, I'm an episode behind though. I don't think I've seen the
Never
newest
mind.
one. Okay, yeah, don't. Yeah, yeah, no, no. But it is just as good as I wanted it to be so far. The show fucking rocks,
I've cried
guys.
at every episode.
It really. I keep on
I'm a
trying to tell
softie.
everybody, and we've been preaching this for a really long time. Apple TV just fucking hits. Like I
Except for that
know,
one show Bruce recommended,
yeah, except for that
apparently.
one show please recommend. If you, there's so many people who are like, oh, I don't have Apple TV. I don't want to pay for it. I'm like, cancel your Hulu, okay? There's nothing on Hulu worth watching. Freaking trust me, spend the whatever it is on Apple TV for a few months and go get your taste of Shrinking and Ted Lasso and like all these freaking amazing
Severance.
shows.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Have you been playing any games?
I did just recently. Well, I finished Woolhaven for
Oh,
Club of the
nice.
Lamb.
Yes.
Really good. Thought it was really fun. I thought there was a good amount of time, like hours spent for what you pay for it.
Hmm.
And so no, I didn't finish it. I did not finish it. I'm a liar. I was close to finishing it.
You liar.
I
How
am a
dare
liar.
you lie
I
to
am a
me?
liar. I think I'm like at the very, very last little bit.
Sure.
Um, but so it's been really good. Like I said, for the amount you spend and the hours you're getting out of it, I thought it was really fun.
Oh, cool.
And then I did just recently, I got Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar on
Oh,
the
nice.
Switch. Hmm.
Yes. I also just bought it because you told me that you bought it. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Um, and so far, I will say the beginning, I was like, nope, damn it, I made a mistake.
Oh,
This was not
no.
good. You have to give it some time. They really, really introduce you to the land of like farming sims, which I can appreciate if you've never played
Yeah.
one. But
Well,
like
that's kind of
some,
Story of Seasons as a whole, right?
yeah,
Like, they
just a
like,
lot of the cut scenes, I was like, okay, okay, like just give me all my stuff. Just let me make my farm, please. Let me do my thing.
mhm.
So it took me a few like in game days to like really be like, okay. I ended up staying up until like 1:30 last night playing. Like
Oh,
I was
shit.
like, this is good. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. Cause now it's starting to feel more like a good just like farming sim with quest like silly little quests. It's definitely it's easy. They made
Hmm.
it very like easy to get supplies. I feel like you're not going to have to like work uber hard
Hmm.
for, you know, supplies or fishing. I think it's a much simpler game than like almost like Stardew.
Right.
It reminds me of Stardew a lot, but like I needed like ore and it took me it was like super quick to like get it. The fishing game super easy.
See, I find Stardew a stressful game. And I'm the thing that stresses me out about Grand Bazaar is like, oh, I have to plan out my week to be ready for the bazaar each week.
It's
But
really once you get a hold of it, it's really easy. I feel like it's a
mhm.
very non-stressful, like it is very like non-stress game, I think.
Oh,
But
nice.
it's been cute. I like I said, once I got through the first few days and like things were like flowing, I was like, okay, yep, I'm in this. Like I'm gonna enjoy this.
I'm hoping to start this week.
It's a good
Because
couch game.
it is a good couch game. I've just been very busy at work, so I haven't had a lot of gaming time. And what gaming time I have had, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And also Mario Tennis came out this week.
You're Mario
And
Tenniser.
well, my friend group is all very into tennis.
Okay.
Like all my friends, they play tennis. I
Uh-huh.
don't because I run and I don't want to blow out my knees.
Yep, yep.
Um, but I like so they've been texting me because I'm the friend in the group that has the Switch too, and they're like, so Alex, you gonna get Mario Tennis? So last night after I traumatized my friends with if I had legs I'd kick you, we then did a palate cleanse of like 2 hours of Mario Tennis.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which honestly I think I enjoy the experience of playing Mario Tennis more than I enjoy playing local multiplayer Mario Kart. Maybe it's a hot take, but it's been a lot of fun, and I like that. Like the game, not like in a lot of I find a lot of Nintendo games now, like basically everything's unlocked from the start.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, you actually have to like unlock over half the characters, unlock most of the rackets,
Yep.
unlock all the courts, and I kind of like that. I'm like, wow, this brings me back to when I used to actually have to play the game to get all the content. Imagine.
That's my husband Daniel. He wanted to buy it. He was like, "Oh, Mario Tennis comes out," and I guess he had played the old one
Oh yeah,
on whatever, I can't remember, whatever it was.
N64.
Yeah, and he was like, I played a bunch of that one," and I was like, "I understand." I was like, "But two things here. One, I know you, okay? This is also not a cheap game. When did
Mm-hmm.
games get so fucking expensive, dude? It's a
Pandemic.
60 $70 game." I'm like,
Yeah.
"I know you. You will play for 2 or 3 days and then you will forget about it and you will never touch it again." And B, I had literally just bought Grand Bazaar on the Switch. I was like, "That Switch is now mine. You don't get to play with it anymore. This is no longer shareable because I'm gonna own this, and I'm taking responsibility for it." So no. And then he kind of sat there and pouted for a minute, and then he's like, "Yeah, you're probably right." He's like, "I don't know if I'll play enough to make it worth it." I was like, "Exactly, thank you."
Well, if you two are ever looking for like a Switch 2 game that has fun local like co-op, local
Hmm.
multiplayer, like, something of the same ilk as like Mario Kart, I like Mario Tennis quite a bit. It's
Yeah.
been fun.
I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart as well, and I'll be
Yeah.
honest, I have enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. I thought it would be like
Really?
something I'd play like a handful of times. I'd be like, okay, like yeah, if the buddies wanted to play, but I'm the one who's like, who wants to play kart? Anybody want to play Mario Kart? Let's play Mario Kart. I've been loving it. I've been eating that shit up. It's so much fun. And again, I can sit on my couch and play, and it's great,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
really, really nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
been
Well,
a
yeah, that's
time.
been I think our what have we been playing? What have you been watching?
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, because I don't think that I've got anything else going on. There is a new season of Love Is Blind that we will be starting.
Oh,
I don't know if you're also.
OHIO. I have been. I'm
uh
on episode 2.
yeah, I think that's roughly, well, we just finished episode 1, or we're almost done with it.
Okay,
So
episode
I'm
1 ends, and you're like, okay, why? What the fuck just happened in the last 30 seconds of this episode? So I had to start episode 2.
Is that the one where she got the stuff in her eye?
She got the stuff in her eye.
Yeah, I don't understand
That freaked
women.
me out.
And this I
Same.
don't, guys, I've seen way too many videos, and you're talking to somebody who has eye drops. Like, I love, there's like certain, I can't remember which one it is. It has a purple cap. It helps with like the whitening of like the white part of your eyes. You shouldn't use it all the
Yeah.
time, but I do use it for like certain occasions.
Mhm.
And so you're talking to somebody who has eye drops that they use, and somebody who does their own nails, okay, with glue. This bitch put nail glue in her eyeballs. And I get like, hey, they were sitting close to each other or whatever. It just, I'm like, y'all, I have heard too many horror stories and y'all are crazy. There's never been a time where I've almost grabbed eye or nail glue.
Yeah. I mean, my wife is someone who has like medicated eye drops because she has like bad dry eye, and she said the same thing. So she's like, how do you mess that up?
Yeah, so we'll have to come back and talk about Love Is Blind too. But yes, yeah. So
I Yeah.
that's about it, for as far as what's been going on.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. All right. So this week we
I
have
just dropped my phone.
we have made some top threes, Lizzie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to introduce the top 3 idea here?
Yeah, so this came from somebody else. I heard somebody else doing it, but it was top 3 for something else. It wasn't video games. It was like, what were your top 3 like movies of blah 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 or something. And I was like, this would be a lot of fun for like gaming. So
Yeah.
we have a few different like I don't want to say topics, but like subtopics where we're going to go through what our top 3 of those were. Most likely getting through openings and levels in areas today, potentially weapons. But then we have things like, cheats, bosses, all kinds of stuff that you guys will most likely be getting a part 2 of this, okay? Because
Maybe even a part 3.
maybe even a
'Cause we
part 3,
yap.
because Lord knows, yeah, here we are. We've only gotten through what have you done, and we're almost 20 minutes in. So we'll see how this goes. So starting with openings,
Okay.
I don't know if you saw my message. I kind of was a little loose with this one on whether it was just a screen or if it was an actual like scene. However
Right,
you
like the opening
interpreted it.
cinematic
Yep.
or like the opening menu. There's
Yes.
one that I am pretty certain that you put down.
Okay.
and and I'm not gonna say what, but I think time will tell, and we'll see.
Um, I tried really hard to stay is like not clear. Like if there was like a legit Zelda one that I was like, this has to go on here, I put in there. But I tried really hard to not let every single one of these have a Zelda theme in it.
I
Really
only
hard.
have two Zelda related ones
I have
out of the
two that I
four
can see.
topics.
Yeah, I have two that I can see. Okay, I'll start. This one was more of a less of a scene and more of just a like start thing, and it's in Mario 64. Nah,
That's my number one too.
it's where you can move his face.
Yeah. That was so much fun.
It was, and it just as a kid, like I thought it was the funniest thing ever. I would sit there and I would try to pull this man's fucking face apart as far as I fucking could, and then snap it back together. And I always thought it was so cool. And it really just impacted my life as one of those start scenes or like starting venues where I just would sit there and play with it for a little bit and
Oh,
just
absolutely.
enjoy.
And it was really cool because that's like one of the first 3D like well, at least the first 3D Mario game, one of the first 3D Nintendo games. So like I just imagine, you get the new N64, you're excited for some 3D gaming, and then you just get to like fuck with Mario's
Uh
like
huh.
cheeks and nose and
Yep.
hat, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
was and I used to like pull his eyelids. It
Oh,
was a lot of
yeah.
fun. It was a
And
lot
then
of
you can
fun.
smack it back together. It's like
Yeah.
freaking Miss Potato Head. Yeah, so that was my first one. It's funny that you had that one too.
That is literally number one on my list.
Okay, well, there we
Um,
go.
so I'm gonna go to number two.
God.
And this is another N64 game.
Okay.
And it's an N64 game that I think the soundtrack had no right going as hard as it does.
Mm,
And it's called a game called Perfect Dark.
okay.
It was like, did you ever play GoldenEye?
No, but I know about it.
Okay, so Perfect Dark is like basically like GoldenEye 2. It's by Rare, like the same folks who made the GoldenEye game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of like you're an international spy who also like is trying to thwart an alien invasion. And the opening scene is like the menus are just like her like typing on the computer, but the music in that is just so iconic, and
Mm.
I think for me that one really like it sets the vibe of like space spy intrigue in space with like crazy techno music. It was awesome.
The freaking games and music. I could go
Yeah.
on forever. I've been trying to convince my husband to play Cult of the Lamb, and I was talking to him about it last night, and I was like, not to mention, I was like, the freaking soundtrack for Cult of the Lamb might be the best music I've ever heard in a game. Like, it's so
Wow.
freaking good.
Don't let Claire Obscure fans hear you say that.
Okay, my second one. This one was more of a like a scene, and it's actually kind of like
Hmm.
two scenes within the first little bit. Guys, if you haven't already played this game or you're not caught up, I can't be responsible. Okay.
Okay.
The Last of Us.
Mm.
One being, I think I am so scared of zombie apocalypse. I tell people all the time, if it happens, just take me out. Like I'm not surviving.
Yeah,
But
there's a few apocalypse scenarios that I want to just be gone with the first wave, and
yep.
zombie and nuclear are
Hmm.
high on that list.
Yep.
Anyway,
When his daughter wakes up and she like goes downstairs and she's like kind of creeping around because she doesn't know where her dad is, and then the freaking zombie like smacks into the freaking door and he's like, get away from the door. And I
oh
am
my
like,
god.
this is my nightmare, like waking up and not knowing like who's not in the house or like where did the person go that was supposed to be in the house.
Hmm.
Just absolutely scares the shit out of me. And it just has stayed. And then I mean, then you know, you get to see this whole cinematic moment of like them running and getting in the car with Tommy and leaving. And then again, if you haven't seen it, it's not my problem. And then
Hmm.
his daughter dies. And
Spoiler.
yeah. And it that
And then he dies.
that game made me cry so freaking hard watching Sarah die in the game. I sobbed. And so like I went from so fucking scared, like being like, nope, this confirms I don't want to be part of this world if this happens, to then like just sobbing uncontrollably. It that one like I I will always remember that, and I am so interested in watching other people's reactions to it too.
For sure, for sure. So my last one here. It is it is one of my rare few Zelda choices for
Uh,
this list for these lists. But for me, I really love the opening to Twilight Princess. The like when he's on
okay.
Epona going through the through Hyrule Field, he goes over
Uh-huh.
the Elden Bridge,
Uh-huh.
and it's just so atmospheric and like so pretty and feels so epic that,
Uh-huh.
and like Twilight Princess for me felt like such an like an it feels like an epic, even in
Mhm.
ways that I don't think Breath of the Wild does. In the sense, like obviously Breath of the Wild's bigger, but there's something about like the story of Twilight Princess that
It's
just is
so
has
good.
such a grand scope, and I
Yeah.
think the opening title, like this title screen, really evokes that for me. When he like you hear the wolf sound and he goes like
Uh-huh. It's
goes
just
up on
a
her hind legs,
beautiful
it's
freaking
beautiful.
game. Like it's so
Yeah,
dark, but that
I
whole
know.
game is just there's a reason that it's one in my top Zelda games. Like yeah, the story is so good and then yes, just like it was such a different turn for Zelda and like just how it looked.
Absolutely.
My last one also is Zelda. And I know you're thinking it's
Ocarina of Time. I
yeah,
assumed it was Ocarina of Time.
it actually isn't. And I
Wow.
did love that one. I really sat there and thought, like, okay, there's probably a good tie between Ocarina of Time and this one because I did, as a kid, I would let that screen just play through forever. I
Mhm.
loved that if you waited long enough, you got like transported and it would bring you to like where the two
Temple of Time, right?
yeah, it would do like you would do like all kinds of different stuff. Like you would go to Gerudo Valley and like it would show you like all these other things. And so I always thought that was really, really cool. But I am such a sucker for the Breath of the Wild opening when you get out of the shrine and you
Right.
walk out and you see this open world for the first time. And I just remember because I was in college when I got the game. I remember sitting
Mhm.
there and being like, holy shit, this
Yeah.
is the coolest thing ever. I'm finally getting an open world Zelda game. And it has stuck with me. Even like now, I get excited to see that scene. Like the music
It's
starts
iconic.
playing and it's pretty. And so I'm like, yeah, no, that one has to go up there as much as I
It
love my Ocarina of Time one.
it is a real blow your mind, poop your pants gaming moment for
Yeah.
sure. Absolutely.
So those and now we're on to levels and areas. So whether you had like a specific level that you really liked in a game, or there was just kind of like an open area
Mhm.
that really took you um, by force, or that you remember really well, or that you just loved.
See, we talked about this particular one before we started recording, and it surprised me because for me, this was like the hardest to whittle down to three.
Mm.
I could literally do a top 10 locations just in Pokemon games.
Uh-huh.
And I was like,
I
how
could
the
do a
hell am I
top
just going to
10
pick
Zelda,
three?
but again, I was trying really hard to not just make my entire list Zelda based.
Yeah. But then you told me that this was a topic that, like, one of the ones that you had a harder
It
time
was
with.
hard for me, yeah.
So what was your number one?
Okay, number one is Zelda. Okay.
Hmm.
And I had to really like think because I was like, again, like I could have made all three of mine Zelda, but this
Yep.
one I tried to pick one that like kind of came out of the blue that I remember really enjoying, and I actually think about it quite often. And it's actually in Wind Waker. And there's a
Okay.
moment in Wind Waker when you get to go back to Hyrule Castle
Oh, that was cool.
and
Yeah.
you walk in to the castle. It's like the throne room, I think,
Hmm.
and everything is like petrified and like it's all stone. And then you go up and you pull the sword out and everything comes alive, and there's
Yeah.
all these like monsters. There's like those big like guard guys out there, and I remember thinking it was so cool because I was so excited because I've talked about this before. I'm a sucker for like if I could have a castle town working in like Breath of the Wild, I would have been that would have been the end. I love anything like working Castletown makes me so excited from Ocarina of Time. So I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is it. And then the sheer panic that sets in after you pull the sword out and you're like, oh, there's just a bunch of
Oh no.
baddies that I now have to fight.
Have to
But I always
fight.
thought it
Yeah.
was so cool. Like I liked like you pull it out and it like almost melts and everything comes alive. And it's just one of those moments in this like area that I remember being like, this is cool as hell.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For me, like I mentioned before, I had a trouble picking which Pokemon like area I was going to do. But I decided to go with probably one of the most atmospheric spots in all of Pokemon, Lavender Town from the Kanto region.
Okay.
So, for someone who has not played much or enough of Pokemon games, I'll
Yeah.
say. Oh my gosh, my cat's just freaked out behind me. Sorry. Um, yeah. So, someone who's not played enough Pokemon, Lizzie,
Mhm.
Lavender Town is a spooky little ghost town that
Oh, okay.
has um like this giant tower in it called Pokemon Tower, where all the like souls of dead Pokemon go, and
That took a turn that I wasn't
it's
expecting.
it's a little dark,
Yeah.
and there's honestly some pretty dark lore about around the Pokemon Tower.
Mhm.
Um, and it has like very very spooky like atmospheric music that doesn't sound anything like any other song in any Pokemon
Okay,
game,
okay, okay.
and I actually recommend you go listen to Lavender Town music after this. You've probably heard it,
I was
but
gonna say this sounds very like familiar, like the name at least that I feel like I've heard
yeah,
other people talk about it.
yeah. So when you play Let's Go Pikachu, you'll get to Lavender Town. You'll be like, I see what Alex is saying.
You're like, I get it. I get it
I
now.
get it. I get it. So I think as far as like iconic places in Pokemon, I think that's my number one. It's a little basic, but you know, I had to pick one. So
No, I think this is also why I love these kind of things. So I also I love kind of like open-ended stuff sometimes when we do it because I enjoy seeing how we perceive the things that I come up with. Like how what is your take on it versus what is my take on things? And I think
sure.
that's kind of like the beauty of it. So this one is a bit interesting because this is not a game that I played. Okay.
Okay.
So I've never played any of the Fallout games, but I
Oh,
watched my husband play Fallout 4.
okay.
And I don't, again, this was one of the ones that I thought of because it made such an impact on me for some reason. And it's so silly.
Is it Far
But,
Harbor?
huh?
Was it Far Harbor?
I don't think so. It's
Okay.
wherever you like can build your little like base in your
Oh
town.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I am just a sucker for building a town and like the like nitty gritty of things. And it's so funny how vividly I can remember. And it's been a while. He played
Mhm.
this like a while ago. That keep in mind, my husband and I have been together for we're going on 13 years.
Same.
Yeah, so it's been a hot minute since he's played.
Yeah.
And in that one, I remember you can route electricity,
Wow.
and I
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
thought
yeah.
that was the coolest shit ever. Like I really thought that was so neat that like you
Oh,
had
the
to
base
get.
building's robust.
Yeah. And I remember, I think that was the first time that I got introduced to like that kind of gaming of like this kind of like sim building ish situation where you had like these generators. And then also, it was like one of the first times besides like Sims that I had seen the ability to decorate the inside of a house and like clean
Mm.
up the neighborhood. And like you had all these little things you could do.
You have to
Um,
just get all the scraps.
yeah, and so it's so funny. Again, it's one of those moments in games that I think about a lot,
Really?
ironically. Like, and I don't know why, but again, it just made such an impact on me. And I thought it was so cool. And I remember sitting there being like, no, can you just keep building like your little town? Like, this is so cool to me.
See, I got frustrated with it by the end because I kept on having to go back and like save and protect all these towns that
Hmm.
because there's a number of places around the world that you can like actually do some base building, but like there is the main spot where like your house is and where
Uh-huh.
you get out of the vault. And I I feel like at first I was like, whoa, this is so cool. And by the end, I was like, just can I put down more turrets so they'll leave my folks alone?
Yeah,
Like,
there's like literally to the point, and I think this is why it's in my head right now because there's a game on my Steam wish list that's called Outbound,
mhm,
and it is very similar where you are on like this like broken piece of a planet, and one of the things you can do because you're building like your house is you have to route electricity. And
Right.
I thought that, again, like thought it was like the coolest little like detail ever.
Oh, cool. So my number two is from a game that you also haven't played, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure you've seen other people play.
Okay.
I'm certain you've seen other people play. It's Liurnia of the Lakes from Elden Ring.
Oh, I'd have to
So
look up where or what it is.
So Liurnia of the Lakes is like the kind of the second like major region you go to in Elden Ring. And it's got all of these like blue crystals everywhere. And there's like it's just like this massive, like I think it's the largest region. And in the center, there's like the school of magic in this large
Dude, this
looming
is
castle.
sick looking.
it's it's really really fun to explore. And I remember because when you go through um when you go through that limb grave, like the first area in Elden Ring, you're like, wow, that was massive. And then all
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden you step out into Liurnia of the Lakes and you get the first map fragment and you're like, how big is this fucking game? And it's just every time I've played through Elden Ring like 4 times now,
Uh-huh.
and every time it's my favorite bit is going to Liurnia of the Lakes and just like exploring it from like every crevice of it.
Mine then my next one is very kind of similar of like just looking at it and being like, oh, this is really pretty, and this is like I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And this one again, just something that I think about all the time, and I want to go back and play just for nostalgia. Was it's actually in World of Warcraft? It was part
Okay.
of Burning Crusade.
Mm.
So long time ago. And because I don't think it works like this now with World of Warcraft, I haven't played in a while, but it sounds like when you start, you kind of get put on a started island. When we played, when I convinced you and Bruce to play for a little bit of
Yeah.
time,
I played for like a month.
I'm pretty sure you guys got stuck on like this like training island, and that's not how it was when I played when I was younger.
Mm.
Because I was a hunter and I was an elf, I got stuck or I got started on this area that was called the Eversong Woods, and it's where like the elves like kind of like it's their
Like the
home.
Night Elves.
No, not the night elves, because their home was a bit different. It was a bit darker. These were just like their I can't remember what they're like blood elves or
The
whatever, I
Blood
think.
Elves, yeah.
And I could be wrong about that, but
Mm-hmm.
it was so pretty and cute, and I loved all like the because I was a hunter, it was like a lot of like go kill like these animals, and I felt bad for like killing these like lions, but they had these like lions out there and like these like uh eels that were like that were floating. They weren't necessarily in the water, but like all the buildings were like this really pretty of like red and orange and yellow, and the whole town looked like that. And so many times when I started over, I would just end up walking around in there and just being
Mm-hmm.
like, I kind of similar, like I'm just gonna go explore and see what's out here and just enjoy it because it's just really it's pretty, and I'm a sucker for anything elf related. And so all these elves are
For
like
sure.
walking around talking, and I'm like, this is great. And
That's
again, for
awesome.
whatever reason, made the biggest impact on me as a kid. I think it's just because I thought it was so pretty and nice. And
That's
then
so
they
good.
throw you to the wolves. All of a sudden, you're getting beat up by a level 60 because you stepped 4 foot out. But yeah, that's my last one.
Okay. My last one is from a game I don't know that you've ever played. Have you ever played or watched someone play Oblivion? I think like maybe Kelly.
I've seen some people play. Yes, I've seen some of
Yeah.
it.
So Oblivion had some of the best DLC like ever.
Mm-hmm.
And the Shivering Isles, that DLC where you basically you take a you go through a portal gate and end up in this like Alice in Wonderland kind of like fey realm,
Mm-hmm.
where everybody's a little insane and addicted to skooma,
Oh.
um,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and like just giant mushrooms and just like a very like very big contrast to like the very stereotypical um Cyrodiil, which you spend most of the game in.
Mm-hmm.
And I just loved exploring, and I loved every quest in that like DLC area. And I love like there have been times where I've gone back to play Oblivion just because I'm like, okay, I will put up with this bullshit because I know I get to play the Shivering Isles at some point in my
Mm-hmm.
adventure.
That again with the World of Warcraft, there were so many moments where I was like, I'll go back and start over just to play like these areas because I like them so much. So I do feel that of like just enjoying like an area enough to like be like, fuck it, I'll do whatever I gotta do to get there.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
the side quests are good enough. Um, yeah, and I think as much as that sounds so silly that we got through 2 of them,
We yap, all right?
we do a lot of talking, and I do have to be somewhere. I do have
Wow.
plans with the rest of my day. So we are gonna
Look
call
at
it there.
you.
Got some things I
Mhm.
gotta go do. But I think we will eat. You guys potentially might get 2 more of these where we're gonna talk some more about what were some of our favorites. Like I said, whether it's the next one up is weapons and cheats. But like
Mhm.
I said, we have bosses and endings and a handful more of them that we want to talk about. So this will probably be part 1 of potentially 3 for you guys.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'd be curious to hear you guys' take. I've been playing around with I don't use Twitter, but I do have a Threads and I have a personal Threads that I
Mhm.
think might be getting turned into a podcast thread instead. So what I could do is then go ask these questions on there and actually get to hear you guys' feedback because I'm always like, I wonder what you guys like. And then it's really hard because there's not like a great place for you guys to leave us comments. We did
For
have
sure.
somebody leave us a comment on Spotify that was really, really cool. So thank you to it's a Twitch buddy that I know. His name is Joey. He left us one, and I was so excited when I saw the email come through.
Joey.
It was like he was talking about his family and how he related to Claire Obscure and like the ending and stuff. And I was like, wow,
Mhm.
that was really cool to like see a comment on there. So yeah, potentially looking at some ways that you guys can actually talk to us when we're like, what do you guys think? So yeah, but thanks for listening. Find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll be back soon with a part 2 of this. Thanks, guys.